Most people have no idea what happens before a pasture-raised chicken ends up on their dinner table. Today we're taking you through the entire journey, from the day these chicks arrive at our local post office until the day they head to the processor.
You know me, I'll do most of the talking if that's, or you can start talking too.
Oh,
Can
don't
I
know
talk
what you want to say. Yeah, of course you can.
I'll start going and we'll vibe it out.
We'll vibe.
Yes. Vibe.
All right, good morning and welcome back to the farm. We got Whitney here and Benny and in this
You.
well, and me of
And
course.
him, this guy.
In this video, we're going to focus on our pasture chickens. You can see the shelters here behind us. This week has been the focus has been on our chickens. Benny and I went yesterday up to Dayton to process our second batch of chickens of the year. And then on Tuesday evening, we all loaded them up in transport crates. Me and Whitney, my dad,
Two friends.
our neighbor,
Oh yeah, and our neighbor.
two friends that we called in as reinforcements, and loaded up just under 1,000 chickens in their transport crates and got them on the trailer. And then Benny and I left early in the morning yesterday to go drop them off.
Dayton.
And the Dayton. We were on the road all day. And then I'll go back on Monday to go pick up all the product in our box truck. But yeah, we thought.
Hold down the fort.
Well, Whitney holds down the fort here and feeds everybody and makes sure everybody's taken care of. So, so yeah, we thought this week would be a good week to focus on the birds because we're moving out our third batch from the brooder into these shelters. So we just got done moving these shelters into place, into their new spots, hooked everything up. Now we're gonna head to the brooder and show you how we load them up on the trailer. It's always a bit of a circus to get them loaded, but
Everything with chickens is a circus.
yeah, but we're gonna get them loaded and bring them out here and then count them one by one into these shelters. We like to do about 250 per shelter. We're estimating we have about 1,000 in the brooder at the moment, so that'll give us an even split between the shelters. And then I'll do once we get them all unloaded, we'll do a little walkthrough of the shelters and what all's in there and how we feed them, how we give them water, how we protect them from critters getting in there.
Benny will do that part.
Yeah, Benny can do that part.
I can pretend to be a critter.
You pretend to be a raccoon, yeah.
Okay.
And then, yeah, I think we'll have some clips and footage of a little bit of the loading part. We kind of didn't want to film too much of that because it gets chaotic, and we just wanted to get it done. So, but a little bit of the transporting them up there, and then obviously us moving them out here. Try to get a full idea of what goes into the chickens. The only part missing is the bringing in the little ones when we get them from the post office. But
Yeah.
No, I've got footage of that I can add.
we can add some footage.
Yeah, it's not from this week,
from
but
previous ones.
yeah.
They're tiny chickens.
Because after this batch, this is our third one. We're taking a small break through the heat of the summer, and we'll be getting more little ones in August. So the brooder will be empty from now until August. Give us a bit of a break once these guys get processed. So yeah, these guys will be out here for 4 weeks, and then we'll load them up and do the same thing all over again. So, all right. Well, I guess, do you have anything to add before we head back to the brooder?
I don't think so. I think you covered everything. Yeah.
All right. Well,
I don't have any.
you have anything to add, Benny? All right. Well, let's go hook up the trailer and get these guys moved out.
Okay.
So this is our brooder house where we start our broiler chickens. We built this structure originally to process chickens. We actually processed our first batch of broilers in this the building wasn't enclosed at the time. It was just a roof, and we used it as just as shade, and we had our processing equipment in there and processed about 150 birds in there. But yeah, come to find out that we are not allowed to do that and sell chicken, so we stopped doing that, and we started going to a USDA processor and got more professional. But so we had this structure, we had a concrete floor in it already, so we decided to just put walls around it, put some windows. There's Benny with the chicken. Yeah, use it as our brooder house. So it's a 16 foot wide, and then I believe it's 24 foot long rectangle. Concrete floor is important to keep rodents out. Rats love to dig underneath and come up through the floor, so having a concrete floor is really important. And then you can see it's sealed up everywhere with hardware cloth, not chicken wire. We tried chicken wire, and rats can go right through it. And we had like insect screening here at first, and the rats chewed through that, so we had to put hardware cloth. So hardware cloth is your friend when it comes to this, to closing up a brooder house. Benny, you want to open the door for us and we'll see what's in there? So, right now we've got about 1,000 birds in here, and they are ready to go out to pasture, which they will. On today's Tuesday, the plan is to move them out on Thursday. The only snag is we would move them out today, but we have our mature birds in our shelters that we're loading up tonight. So yeah, busy week. But yeah, these guys are right at 3 weeks now, which is pretty much the limit of how long they can stay in here. You can see we have the hanging heaters up there, propane heaters. We've got drinkers, the nipple drinkers, and then just the regular not bell waters, but gravity drinkers. And then their feeders are those, we call them turbo grow feeders, but yeah, you can see it's somewhat full in here. There's still a lot of room back there to roam around, but they're ready to go out. We'll move them out as soon as we can. We run a fan in here when it gets warm, so now pretty much all the time we run a fan just to help with ventilation. And then we have big windows back there to get some fresh air through. You can see it's insulated somewhat. We had a whole rat fiasco in here where Whitney and I had to find a rat and dig it out through all this insulation. That's why the bottom is cut away, and some of the top is all mangled up from us trying to get the rat out of here. So wish we would have had that on video, but I'm sure we'll get into another situation like that. But Alright, so we have the trailer set up here now at the brooder. You see back here. That's okay, Ben. We'll grab them.
Okay.
We're going to be building a ramp from the trailer into the brooder, and then sort of like a funnel system. We're going to do the ramp and then 2 more boards going across this way, and then we'll just push them from the back, funnel them in onto the ramp and onto the trailer. So it sounds simple in theory, but in practice it's a bit more challenging. They don't like to, it seems like as soon as they get on the ramp they just stop. So, but yeah, so we're going to take you through all that, how we get them on the trailer and get them out to the field. So just wanted to show you a little bit about how we set up these shelters while Whitney's throwing chickens into our into the shelter. We're trying to get about 260 in here. We've got 5 of these Poisson Bell drinkers, and then they're connected to a 3/4 inch PVC that runs the length of the shelter. And back here we've got our water tanks, these 2 IBC tanks, and then hoses connected to the PVC pipe with the water filter, so that it filters just out some of the algae and stuff that grow in the tanks there. So yeah, all that's gravity fed into these drinkers. We've got these hanging feeders, got 6 of these hanging feeders here. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We've got these tarps that cover the shelters, keep the rain out. We just had one tear last night, so we got to see if we have a spare one. But yeah, we're just getting these birds offloaded here, and I'll click back in when we're done. All right, so we just finished offloading. All the shelters are full now. We ended up with what was the final count? Like 1,070 or something total. So that's pretty good. We brought in 1,100 into the brooder, and to move out 1,070 it's not bad. So there you can see this piece of the tarp ripped yesterday, so I need to replace that at some point. See if I have another one. But yeah, the birds are all just getting used to their new environment here, finding the food and water. You'll notice that we put up these it's a piece of a conveyor belt that we put on the front and the back to stop anything from digging underneath it, or from crawling underneath, because this 4x4 in the front sits up about 4 inches off the ground. So we use that to stop things from crawling underneath, and then we also set up a single hot wire around the whole thing to keep any predators from coming in here. And I'll come back later, and when I check on them, I'll set up that wire so it's here for this evening. So, but yeah, I think we're ready to go have some lunch and take a break for a minute. So
Did you talk about predator issues that we've had?
Yeah, I mean, we've had some skunks get in here.
You wouldn't think, but yeah, skunks cleared out like 14 in one night.
Yeah, and then we've had raccoons that will, if the birds will sleep next to the edge of the shelter, the raccoons will come and stick their hands through the chicken wire and grab a chicken and start snacking. So we try to keep things away from the shelters as best we can.
That's why we set up that hot wire.
That's why the hot wire's here. But
But yeah, now it's lunchtime.
now it's time to go. Well, we got to feed the hogs still, but yeah,
Yeah.
then we can go have lunch. All right, good job, team. over the kings. We got the chickens here. We've all made the trip really well. All still fine back there. It's a nice cool morning this morning, so that helps. But we'll head over and finish our trip to Kings. Pretty much finished for the day. Just got home, checked on did all the last rounds and checked on all the animals before we wrap up for the day. But I just wanted to close the video out by touching on a few things that I think we missed during the video. A couple important details pertaining to the chickens that I think it's important to know for folks who have never really seen how we raise our chickens out on pasture. But I don't think we mentioned in any of the videos or previous footage that we move those shelters every day. It's important that we move them every day because those birds put down so much manure, and if we don't move them every day, the manure load would be way too much for the grass and the soil, and we would actually do more damage to the pasture than we would add beneficial nutrients to the soil. So moving them every day is a crucial part of how we manage chickens on pasture. And we've seen significant improvements in our pastures using these chickens and our turkeys to fertilize our pastures and add nutrients, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. All of that is present in their manure, and that gets incorporated into the soil and adds organic matter, and then gives us better grass for our cows to graze on. So it's the chickens all form part of the whole system that we do here on the farm, and every animal has a purpose and has a job to do in improving the quality of our farm and improving the land and leaving it better than we found it. So yeah, that is I needed to touch on that because that's an important part of not only why we do chickens, but also their contribution to the whole system. The other thing I didn't mention was the chicken breed that we use. We use a Cornish cross bird, which is the same chicken that the industry uses, that they put in the chicken houses. They've been selected to grow really fast and put on a lot of muscle meat in a short amount of time. So from an economical point of view, these birds are the best to raise because the turnaround is so quick. It's a 7-week grow out from when we get them as little chickens until they're finished and ready to go to the processor. So it's a quick turnaround. They put on a lot of weight fairly quickly. We use the Cobb 500 strain. There's a couple different strains with the Cornish cross, but we use the Cobb 500. We could choose heritage breed birds that grow slower and produce smaller carcasses and smaller chicken breast, but the economics don't make sense. We would have to charge so much more for the cuts, and it doesn't make sense from an economical point of view. We still have to make the farm viable. We still need to make money to be able to continue to do this. So we decided to use the industry's bird, but we raise them in a much better environment, outdoors, in the sunshine. They're not in a chicken house, so they get to have the benefits of being outside, and we get to benefit from their manure on our pastures. I wanted to touch quickly on the type of feed that we use. We use a non-GMO feed from a local feed mill, Baghdad roller mills. They're about 30 minutes from here, but they've been around for a long time, and they make really good feed, and we've been using that for a while. We used organic feed for a little bit. It was great feed, but the price just got too expensive. We couldn't justify charging so much more for our product to be able to make the same margins, and so we moved away from organic. Plus, we're not organic certified, so we're selling pasture-raised chicken that's not organic certified, but using organic feed just pushed our cost up way too high. So we decided to go back to non-GMO, and it's been working well. The birds do really well on it, and it's still better than conventional feed. So it's worked well for us. I also wanted to touch on some of the shelter designs that we've used in the past. We started with, I think what everybody starts with is the Salatin tractor. Chicken tractor is like a 12 by 12 box, and you move it by hand. You can do about 75 chickens in one of those. So we started with those just to get experience and figure out how to do it. And then we started building these hoop structures that can house 250 to 275 birds, and we move it with a winch on each one of our Jeeps has a winch on it, and we just winch it forward. You've seen in the previous video and in this video how we winch them forward. Makes it really easy. We can do it fairly quickly, and we just find that these shelters are a bit easier we can move around, we can get in them actually, and those Salatin tractors you can't really get in there because they're set so low to the ground. We can get in, we can check the birds, we can fix the waters, everything. So they just work better for us, and we really like them. The only thing we need to replace on a yearly basis are those tarps. We just had one rip, and I need to go replace it at some point, but I just ordered another one, so we'll see. Hopefully I can do that next week. And then, we started the very first time we processed birds, we just did whole chickens. We were like, we're going to convince people to buy whole chickens because everybody should know how to cook a whole chicken. But, that's just not the reality. Most people enjoy a boneless, skinless chicken breast. It's easier, it's an easy dinner. And so we started doing all the cuts, and now we offer chicken breasts, chicken drums, chicken thighs, chicken wings, some chicken sausage, and of course whole chickens. Chicken breast, we can't keep enough of it on hand. It's our most popular product that we sell, we produce a lot of it at the moment. So that's definitely our staple product is the chicken breast, and it's a good product. We enjoy it. I personally prefer the chicken thighs, but I do think our chicken breast tastes a lot better than conventional what you can buy in the store, and we've enjoyed it, and it's a really good product. I think that pretty much covers most of our chicken enterprise. We order our little chickens from a hatchery in their home base is California, but they have a hatchery now in Tennessee, and they get shipped to us with the post office. We go pick them up at the post office and bring them here, and that's when the whole process starts. Known as the chicken man at the local post office, so that's a nice little nickname to have. Picked up thousands of chickens there over the years. So, if you guys have any questions, anything else you'd like to know about how we raise chickens, what we do, any questions pertaining to animal husbandry or anything related to our chicken enterprise, feel free to let us know. All of our products are on our website. There's a link in the video description for our website, and we want to thank you for watching, sticking around to the end, and we'll be coming out with another video next week, highlighting some of the other things that we do around here. So appreciate you guys watching. If you would like this video and subscribe to our channel, we'd appreciate it, we're just starting to build this thing, so any support is very much appreciated. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.